Welcome everyone to the 5th episode of Paint with Rob the Builder. Well, here we are again. We're about to do another painting, and I'd like to dedicate this painting to my brother Jeff, he's right now in the Philippines, him and his family, and I wanted to do a winter scene for him because in the Philippines, they don't have winter. They probably don't even know what snow looks like other than what they see on the news and things like that. But I wanted to let him know in Michigan, it snows all the time. So I'm going to do a winter scene for him. And I just want to show you exactly what I do when I get started. So the canvas I have it's actually a white canvas, and I put black gesso on it. So when I do that, it just makes it so that I can mix colors and get that black background. Now there are actual black canvases that are completely black. The difference is that those canvases, when you mix paints like yellow, it doesn't turn green. This one, if you put yellow on this one, yellow and black make green, and we don't really want to do that. So the paints I'm going to use, and you guess it, it's actually a pizza box. That's my palette. I can dispose of it, no big deal, no cleanup, because you know what it's like to clean up a big mess with paint. So this way I just get all the paint off, throw it away. So just to kind of let you know what's going on, the first two videos I had like 80 views, and then one video went to 700 views, which is amazing. Don't know if everybody watched them all the way through, which is fine, it doesn't matter. I just appreciate getting a couple looks, and it's not really for, to be famous or anything like that. It's really just to share with you the thing I learned as a hobby to do, and I actually like it, and it's therapeutic. So it's comforting, it's calm, and as you can see in the basement, I mean, it's quiet. You can hear things going on upstairs. You can hear the furnace go on. You can hear when the water runs in the kitchen. But other than that, it's peaceful. Normally, I do my painting at 3 o'clock in the morning because everybody's sleeping. You don't get any interruptions. But I don't know. I do it because I like doing it. So I will start. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to demonstrate really how I prep the black canvas. I use liquid clear, and when you use liquid clear, that's this stuff right here. It's kind of a congealed mess right now, but it's, you basically you kind of like wipe it on, and you really want to, I'm going to smear it around. It's really thick, but I'm going to kind of brush it on. What this does is this lets us blend paint on the canvas. And it does. It comes across really thick, and it just seems like I'm putting so much on there, but I'm going to smooth it out because you don't want too much on there because it will your paint will just run off the canvas, and we're not trying to do that. Trust me, I've learned in the paintings I've done, and I'll share with you some of the paintings I've done, like some of the ones I started off with, and yeah, it looks like it's really thick. As you can see, it's going on really thick, but when we get done, it's not going to be as thick. And as you can see, I don't have a painting smock, so I don't know. Sometimes I'll get dirty, but I use gloves, and when I came from work, I didn't really change. And so I just want to make sure. So now there's a lot on here, right? So there's a lot of liquid clear, but that's okay because I also have paper towels. And the paper towels that I'm using, again, you're not a shop towel, nothing fancy, something from cheap, like the dollar store. And I will put that in my solution, and I'm going to really wipe the canvas off really well. And so part of what I was saying about, the comments, I welcome comments. I welcome, constructive criticism. And you're always going to get comments that, they mean well, but sometimes it comes across as being negative. But they're not negative. It's just people giving their thoughts and opinions, which everyone's entitled to, All I ask is just, I guess keep them not so critical, let's put it that way. Because I really am doing it as a hobby. I do it for fun. I do it to relax. I do it to de-stress, so to speak. I actually have my TV up here, so, I can watch Friends, or that's my favorite show, by the way, Friends. And Matthew Perry was my favorite, or Chandler, let's put it that way. He's my favorite character, and sorry to see that he's no longer with us, but I do watch Friends quite a bit. But I'm a sports nut, obviously. So, now that I've prepared the canvas, it still may seem a little thick, but it'll serve its purpose. So what I do is, whenever I'm going to make my canvas, I take my brush and I'm going to put in a sky. It's not going to be, it's going to be, I'm going to put like some, the sky is going to go in here, and I'm going to kind of just dab it on, because it's going to be a wintry sky. It's going to be, it's not going to be, bright and sunny. It's going to be kind of like wintry, and that's kind of what we want to do. So you just basically mix it, and white mixed with the black canvas, it's going to make gray, which is what we want. Get a good look at that. So yeah, you want to really blend it in, and it doesn't matter if you get stuff all over as far as the paint, because it's going to be a winter scene. So, and I'm going to try to talk as I paint. Sometimes it seems like I go silent, and I don't mean to do that, but yeah. And so that's kind of the sky we're going for, a nice little gray sky. I might want to put a few patches of brightness, maybe over here. You don't want it to be completely devoid of any, because it's not pitch black, but it's more of a wintry evening. You'll see people do this. You can see the streak marks. There are brushes that will let you blend it in. So I'm gonna just you can see the streaks. That's okay though. I have a blender brush, and some of the brushes I've used, these are the Bob Ross brushes that I've used, and I've, as you can see, it kind of like, you can only blend it as well as you can. If it doesn't blend all the way, it's okay. It's okay. You can even take a towel, paper towel, and you can kind of, I really don't want to take too much of it, and you don't really want to, because the paper towel makes streaks. So scratch that. Let's not do that. So we're going to put a little bit more paint on there. And sometimes you'll get really cool configuration. So, and then I really want to make it a little bit brighter. I don't want it to be a blizzard, but I don't want it to be like midnight. I want to be able to see. So that's a little dark, but it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, so we want to be able to see it. We want to be able to see, because you want to be able to see color on it. And so basically what you want to do is you can take it and you can bring it down here, because we may have a reflection. I mean, if you really wanted to put color back on there, you could put dark on there, but you don't really need to. So right in the center, I like having, I'm thinking about having a little lake or a little pond. I'd like to put a little house in it. And you really want it to be straight. Too many lakes have twists and turns, but yeah, so as you can see, our clouds, our skies, it's kind of cool. It's got a little bit of some cool configurations, but we're going to have some pine trees in here. Pine trees used to scare me because I'm like, I didn't know. I mean, as far as paint, they didn't scare me from a physical standpoint. They kind of scared me from trying to paint it standpoint, because, you know, Bob Ross kind of did trees, and he showed people how to do trees. And, you know, I'm like, oh, okay, great. So, well, some people, I usually use this to clean the brushes because there's not really color on it, so I'm okay. When you want to clean your brush, I have my little bucket of solution. I'm not going to put mountains in it because I think I just want a hillside with trees. So you don't really need a horizon line. You just need to know where your trees. So when you mix two colors, and what we want to do today is we want to mix, and this sounds odd, but mixing red and green will give you gray. So we're going to mix, it's going to make a cool gray color. So I'm just going to move these brushes out of the way because I don't want to get, you know, and it's okay. So what I do is I look and see. So that's what we want. I'm just trying to figure out what can I use to start my trees. So all right, so it's got a lot of red in it, doesn't it? You can also put a little bit of, if it seems like it, you just put a little black in it. So when you're doing pine trees, it's okay to do it this way, because it can scare you. Yeah, so that's fine. That's not bad. So, and keep in mind, these are pine trees, and you're gonna make a grove of them, so you can make them. And when you're making your pine trees, and like I said, they're trees. I mean, you're gonna put a little snow in them because it's gonna be snowing. You know, we want it to be so, and we kind of want it to be on a hillside. So you can make some little ones that are far off in the back. You know, and again, it's not gonna be perfect, and you know, you're gonna have some that probably maybe don't look as hot, but that's okay, because you're gonna have again some pine trees. So we're kind of looking for, you know, yeah, yeah, it's okay. Right. So as you're making your pine trees, again, we're just really blocking pine trees so that we're making a kind of on the hill. And since I started doing those, I was like, man, these are hard. I mean, pine trees can be tough, but when you just practice them, and I haven't, this is like probably the second winter scene I've ever done. And so, but it's okay, because what I'm trying to do is it's going to be on a hill, and some are going to be. Okay, that's okay. But yeah, and you can even maybe some you can gray out a little bit. You know, you're going to want to put. And you know, and then you can even add more gray, or make them grayer. So I've just taken some white, because I want what I want is I want some of these like in the background. Kind of like that. So you want them you want them so they're sitting back farther. So you don't want it to be where they're prominent. So you could be like, well. So you got a couple trees. We're actually going to highlight those a little bit. So dimensions are really important when you're doing like winter scenes. So I'm going to look at maybe a little thinner or smaller fan brush. Because when you're doing trees, and this one has a little bit of, this doesn't have a whole lot of give. but I'm gonna see if I can't. Okay. We're just gonna make this one a little darker. And what you do is you can make it a little bit more. And so you want to you kind of want them to look like trees. You don't want it to be, I mean, and they won't look like perfect trees, but when you're done with them, they will. Right now, we're just putting some trees way into the back because we want it to be. Keep in mind, these are just background trees. Yeah, because really that's going to be covered up by trees that are going to be to the forefront. So, since we've gotten some trees, I'm going to put a bigger tree. Put a bigger tree like right here. So yeah, kind of looks like a pine tree, right? It's going to be up close and personal. So okay. So kind of what we want to do is we just want to we're just going to kind of take the brown out of that tree a little bit. And then take the brown out of this tree. We don't really want them brown, because then it looks like it's dying. So we still want to keep them. We still want to keep them like evergreens, like they're in the background. They're just a little dim. They're not. And so these two, like. All right, so we're going to try. I want to put a house right here. And I'm going to do some trees. It's going to be a real simple, but I want to make sure that. So. Okay. Yep. So, and then you just want to, so you kind of want your trees, I mean, they're pine tree, they're evergreen. So when you put your snow on them, you know, when you put your snow on them, it's gonna look pretty cool. But right now, we're just gonna go ahead and I wanna put a house, and it's always the scariest to do this, but I'm gonna try to do what I'm trying to do is do some. So we're gonna try to put some snow. So now this is a little too thick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find one of those. I don't know if this is going to work. I bought these little, I call them chip brushes. And what we're looking at is just trying to you can define it. What we're trying is put the land in, you know, so as you're putting the land in, you're going to bring it closer to you. So as you can see the land, and maybe hopefully you can see it. Yeah, you bring the land in closer, and you can like make it come from back here. Yeah, so what I'm trying to do is focus on how I'm actually doing the land, like the snow. So you kind of want to make it look like it's coming towards you. And you don't want it to be like if you're gonna build a little lake here, you don't want it to be like it's falling off. So I just kind of like map out where I want like the road. Like if there's a road, because I want to put a house right here. That's always the scariest part when you're gonna do a house. You go, how big? And you know, so what I'm going to do is you can use your palette knife, which I haven't done in a while, so I'm going to use my palette knife. And let's see. I'm going to try to etch out a house. Okay. Let's see. I don't know, do I want to do it like this? Okay, so what I'm going to try to do is see if I can go. Okay. So we're going to start. You can see the outline of the house, but so this is one of the eaves. Okay. Yeah, houses have always been like, what do you call it, the Achilles heel? And so keep in mind, when we're doing this, we're kind of, when I say freewheeling it or doing it on the fly, pretty much that's what I mean. We're kind of doing it on the fly. So with that being said, I'm going to try to see if I can do. Yeah, so when you're doing a house, you just want to make, and you would think being a builder, I'd be able to build a decent house. I can build one, but I can't paint one. Isn't that funny? And so you can always, whenever you're doing your houses, just do them to the best of your ability. You can always come back and correct it. But, the good about it, you can always take it off. Right. So, if you need to tweak it, just tweak it a little bit. See, the good thing about it is they're oil paints. So just take it off. And then and so there's your house. So when you're doing your houses, now if you want it to kind of look like planks, I mean, you can always go like, you know, hey, let me do my yeah, kind of give the house a little character, you know. You want it to be yeah. So, you know, I looked at some of Bob Ross's houses. They look kind of rough, but because they're not supposed to be these architectural, you know, masterpieces. They're basically houses that, you know, have seen better days. And, you know, basically what you're trying to do is make it so that, bear with me here. Yeah. So a lot of times when you're looking at paintings, you're like, okay, what can I do? So he's like, well, you know, then you want to get more. So I got this. I'm gonna take this palette knife. And so you want to go. Yeah. Okay. I mean, you probably, I guess you want it to overlap. I'm looking at the house itself and I'm like, okay, well, now I need this to come down here. There we go. Yeah. You know, you don't want it to be, keep in mind, if this was Rob the Builder's cottage, then he's not going to make it so it's like, it needs to be inspected, you know. There you go. I mean, there you go. That's your house. But you know what? You need an entranceway, right? So I'm gonna just clean this off. Yeah. The good thing about paper towels is, okay, so what I'm gonna do is I need a door. Okay. Yeah, you want to put a nice nice cool door in there. You don't want to be. Yeah. Yeah. So that's a door. So, you know, because you got to be able to get in. And you kind of need windows, right? So, since the door is closed, you need some windows, right? So, what I would do is, because I need windows, is I need to block in some windows. So, I'm going to go ahead and all right. So I'm going to pause it here. All right. So kind of fast forward it a little bit. I know that sometimes you can get irritated at the things that you create. I'm no different, you know. I look at things like, oh man, I wish I would have done that. But you know the beauty about oil painting? You can always change it. So it's like, oh wait a minute. Yeah. So it's pretty simplistic. It's a pond. It's a house with a little kind of a dock, I think is what it looks like. It's a dock. And you know, they can ice skate, they fish. I don't know about how much boating they would do, but I mean, I suppose you can put a upside down boat on it, but I'm not as skilled about that. I don't know. I'm not as skilled when it comes to that, but you know, it's a winter scene and you're going to tinker it. I'm going to tinker with it. You're going to find that you're going to tinker with your paintings. You really are. You're going to add things. You're going to take things away. I wanted to have a little cabin away from the woods. That was the goal. The goal is to have kind of a winter scene with some trees. You can put some bigger trees. Like if I wanted to, I could put a bigger pine tree. And so I can put a big pine tree right here. So this is how it works. So I'm going to get a little bit of paint thinner. And I'm going to put one right here, dead center. I'm going to go And yeah, you can make it. You can make it as vibrant as you want. You can make it as big as you want, as wide as you want. Obviously, trees aren't as. So you make one. I mean, you literally can make a host of trees. So I wanted to put some color. And so, I mean, you don't want them devoid without color, but I wanted to make that one stand out. Because you could, you know, you can really like I said, you can tinker with this until the cows come home. And that's kind of how you want to make your trees, kind of like that. I mean, you literally can make them that bright. And you can make them, I mean, you can make them this all out in the countryside. So that was the goal, is to make it so that you can make trees and so I want to try. I'm trying to think of what I got. Trees here, I got a tree here, and that's a really vibrant tree. I mean, I could really. Yeah, I had to make it a little darker. I wasn't trying to make it as bright as, yeah, but, it's kind of nice that you got trees that have, I can literally put tree in the background, but I didn't really want to do that. You kind of, it's a minimalist painting. So like, here's your ice, there's your little dock. You can pretty much say, okay, yeah, I can see that. That's the lake. And, those are trees. Now, what you can do is, well, yeah, so. Yeah. So that's about it. I mean, I'm probably going to tinker with it as I usually do with a lot of my paintings. I usually tinker, but I'm going to put a chimney because, with every house, you're going to need a chimney, right? Because you're going to put okay, that's a chimney. Yeah. So this is my painting. I'm gonna tweak it a little bit, but for all intents and purposes, this is what I'm gonna come up with. I'm gonna do some little tweaking. But again, thank you for joining me. Episode 5, winter scene for my brother Jeff. I will tweak it. Any questions, comments, hit the like and subscribe button. I do appreciate it. Again, paintings that you do aren't always going to be, especially when you're doing it with, just kind of eyeballing it, trying to visualize what you want to do. It's okay. So this is a cabin in the woods in the snow. All right. Thank you. Talk to you soon. Bye.